Okay, many times when we're standing against the person, this is a pure grappling with the gi scenario. We're going to look at a little bit of modified or simplified judo that can be more effective for taking the person down when we don't really have the option of doing a complete throw. It's nice that we may be able to get our hips underneath and cause his head to dip down and the feet to go all the way over and create a nice full Olympic style ippon. The reality is, against a resisting opponent, when we're in the beginning stages, it's not always going to be so practical or even realistic to imagine. So let's look at ways that we can get the person to the ground so that we can start to control them in a grappling contest a little more effectively without wasting too much energy and time. Of course, we're always going to be reaching for each other's gis, right? And then if you're someone who gets too distracted by that, you end up sort of doing just like this karate thing where as you reach, you're always blocking away, and we don't want to get into that battle. Grappling means that we're touching, so we want to touch and start grappling as soon as possible. So maybe as he grabs, instead of knocking the hand away or something, when he reaches, we just touch right here, right? One hand holds over top, and one hand holds underneath. And now the hand that is on top, which is the same side hand, you just take it out of the way, and you just pull the arm towards the opposite side, like this. And see what it does? It turns his back, right? Face me properly, and then we're like this, and I hold, and I just turn his back so this hand is free, and I can just walk around the side and hold the hip. Maybe you don't hold the belt, because the belt can move a lot, and then you lose the tension that's required. Not so much tension, actually, closeness. We want to be close to him. So I walk around the side, right? I hold here, and I pull the arm this way so that I can walk this way, and then I touch the hip like this. And look how my head goes inside, right? My head's not here. It's not underneath the arm. It's not under the arm this way. It goes inside with my ear on his bicep chest area. This also works if he grabs the gi. If he grabs the gi and gets the collar and I want to take the grip off, I just hold. I surround the hand and I make a grip on the sleeve or on the wrist, and I just push it away as I stand up a little bit. And I end up in the same position, right? As he holds, I just pull myself away and touch the sleeve in the opposite direction, and then I switch. My head goes inside and I cup the hip. Right, from this position, I'd like to step my forward leg, my leading leg, the same way I would as if I was aggressing towards his foot or leg for a single leg position, right? Maybe I want to try and snatch him like this. I'm just going to step my leg around the corner. And the idea would be to get my knee to touch right here. Right here. So I'd like to have my knee above his, or at least against the back of his thigh, so that when I turn my foot a little bit, I start to bend his knee in so that the weight comes off. So maybe he grabs and I touch and I take this away. And then I pull the arm across and hold the hip. One. And as I do, my ear and head go inside. And then this leg advances towards him to touch behind his knee. Here. And now I can pull the hip and also put a little pressure on the knee like this. And then I use my head this way, leaning him this way. And I'm just going to turn so that he goes to the mat. I want to take a step with the forward foot, like this. I want to touch the knee like this, and I want to use my head like that. And I'm going to pull the hip. When all four combine, hip pull, head turn, knee touch, and step, he's going to rotate to the mat. And I just follow him. I cover the hips. Maybe from here, right, he may start to turn and thrash, so it's nice if I get the other sleeve and just pull it up and walk to a side mount position. All right, I just cover him, however you like. Okay, John? So I find myself in a situation where he's grabbed the collar. Maybe even before he grabs the collar, he's reaching. So I just catch and I switch and catch the hip with my head inside. Cup the hip, touch the ear. This foot here touches his leg, like that. And then this foot goes around the corner. Right, so as I'm pulling, arcing, touching, and stepping, right? All of those things combine to make this spin happen. What's really going on? I'm transferring all of his weight and balance to this foot only. But because I have the leg behind him, he can't sprawl. If I were to reach for his leg here and just try to snatch one leg, he could just sprawl. Right. So now this leg behind him, my forward leg behind it, it stops him from doing that. So maybe he grabs the collar, and I take it off and I switch. Then make sure that my head is inside, and then I just touch here, and step around the corner, pull, and arch. That's it, and I don't follow him to the ground. Look, when he hits, I want to put my hips on his hips, like this. Right? If he goes face down, fine. Usually the guy won't. I don't think he'll be that submissive, right? I think he'll try to fight to turn and face me. So he grabs the collar, I hold, touch. So then I'm going to grab this sleeve, and I use it to pull up and put him on his back. This hand comes out of the way here, and I can go under the head and just start to work a basic side mount position. All right? Does it make sense? Let's try, guys.